Rise and shine, it is more world card time. I'm going to show you my type photos and I'm going to show you some raw ones. I'm going to show you what the difference between this kind of photo, this kind of photo, this kind of photo, and this kind of photo. Ozzy! All right, on More World. All right, everyone, this is Merlin of More World Cards. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, More World Cards. Check me out on TikTok, Instagram, and I even have a store on eBay. It's all at More World Cards. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everything. More World Cards. You can see it in my channel. You can see it over my overlay or whatever. It's all over the place. More World Cards. And I'm at shows all the time all over the country with my pop culture cards and my photos and all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyway, we're going to talk about type photos. These are original photos, pressed photos, publicity photos, even digital photos. If you look on the PSA site, I'll do a screenshot as you can see it right now. There are 4 types of classified photos that PSA classifies. Type 1 is a photo taken from an original negative within 2 years of that photo taken. So that means photographers, at whatever event, the sports or a concert or wherever they are, and they took that photo, say like they took that photo in 1985, it has to be developed within 2 years. That means before 1987, if that photo was taken in 85. Now the type 2 is also from the original negative, and it is made or developed after 2 years. I think they call that like a restrike in the photographer vocabulary. You can look it up. It's called a restrike. Then there is a type 3, which is from a duplicate negative, and also just like type 1, it has to be developed within 2 years of that reprint negative or whatever. It's got to be made within 2 years. Again, if that photo was taken in 85 and they made a reprint negative of it, it has to be made within 2 years. And then a type 4 is made after 2 years, just like a type 2, but that type 4 comes from reprint negative. But what they don't tell you on the PSA site is they can also develop original digital photos, like a Taylor Swift one that came from a press photo. I will show you some more here. Those like press photos, publicity photos, wire press photos, laser photos are all classified as type 3 because they don't come from a negative. They don't tell you that. And then I think type 4 still comes from a negative. But anyway, let me show you some examples. These are some raw photos that I will either sell this weekend at a show. If no one buys them, then I'm going to send them to PSA. This is Ozzy Osbourne from 1984. This is a type 1. I do know that. I've been buying from this photographer and many other photographers from the LA area. I live in Los Angeles. So this is Ozzy at Long Beach. And if you look here, this is what they call, PSA calls, and I think there's other companies, I think CSG and maybe SGC and BGS, I think they all authenticate photographs. But anyway, if you see on here, you'll see the photographer's stamp. Also, a lot of times there are archivist or library stamps on here too, and then there's either a piece of the article taped or maybe a stamp or a sticker that has when it was taken, the event, and what happened, and who was the subject of the photo. So here it says Ozzy in Long Beach in 1984, and here is Ozzy. So I know for definitely this is a type 1. Could it be a type 2? Sure it can, but I'm pretty sure, I'm 99.9% sure this is a type 1. Can a type 1 not have any DNA stamp on it? Sure, but if you're going to spend a lot of money on it, do not buy a photo that has a clean white back. Vintage photos are usually an off-white, especially older ones like in the 80s, the older 70s. They have kind of a off-white. Some even older have a sepia. The card stock on it's a lot thicker. Make sure there's a lot of DNA. The DNA, the better, because if they don't have enough DNA or evidence of the year, or if the photo was taken properly, then they will not authenticate it. It could be a real photo, say of like Babe Ruth from the 20s, but if there's not enough DNA on here and they can't distinguish it between the type 1, 2, 3, or 4, then they will not authenticate it, and they will send it back, and you can't get it slabbed. It sucks because it's a real photo. They just don't know the DNA for it to give you the specific classification. Also, this is another type 1. This is Michael Jackson, and I got this one because he's getting his star on the Walk of Fame, and I believe that's little Emmanuel Lewis back in 1984 as well. This was taken by Steve Granitz, and it tells you here, Michael Jackson, the rock star at the Hollywood Star in the Boulevard, taken in 1984. So that, again, that is a type 1. Now this one I have, now I sent one of these in the PSA already, but I'm holding on to this one because I do not know what this is classified as. I have no clue if this is a type 1. I have no clue if it's a type 2 or 3. Hell, it could be even a 4. I did do a reverse image search on this on Google, and this photo I do know was taken in 1970. Now, the other one that I sent to PSA did have a stamp 1970 and the photographer's stamp on it, and that's why I sent that one in. But as you can see on this one, it says 1973 Ray Charles subject. This could be a restrike. I do not know. This could be that maybe they know. I don't know how they know these things, but they know. And I'll show you more about this later. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Who freaking knows? I do not know. Now this is a type 3. This is called a wire press photo, and it's called a wire press because of the information that was on here. I'm trying to see where that one is so you can see it better. So this one is Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe. This is a type 3, and this is in the photo. So the teletype, as they call this, is on the photo. Now I had a Prince one. You can check that Prince photo out. That was from 1984 from the Purple Rain show. It was the first concert of the tour in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it actually had teletype tape on it. Now, when they do that, there are, I think, a couple I've seen of Larry Bird on eBay right now, that when they put the teletype tape on there on the original photo, it's considered an original photo, but one of a kind because of the teletype tape. You want to make sure, then that's a type 1. Whereas if it's in the photo, if it's not tape, then it's a type 3. It's a wire press photo. So make sure before you spend lots of money, and if someone has this listed as a type 1, do not buy the photo. Make sure, ask the seller if this is actual tape or if the teletype is part of the photo. And if they tell you it's a tape and you get it and it's not, then send it back because you got ripped off. And then look on the back there. There's some stamps on there, but still, it's a type 3. And, the type 3 could still be the same date as the type 1. So, if this was 1955 and the type 1 photo was 55 and this was taken type 3, this could also be 1955. Now, when you see a lot of these, like movie cards, music cards, or music press photos, I have some of the like movie ones like Star Wars, The Godfather, some George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, because I'm in the music and the film. And if you see this again, this is the logo and the information and the studio or the label logo and everything and the names and the photographer. This is a type 3. All press publicity photos are type 3. Now, the thing is, I would love to have the type 1 photo of this original photo that's on this type 3. So if you could find this type 1 photo, send me the information. I'm looking for all Nirvana type 1 photos. So you want the original of this, but since This is overlaid with the Nirvana logo and the label logo and the names and the publication. And it's clean on the back, as you see. This is a Type 3. This is from 1991. But they're still worth something. And I have no problem selling Type 3 press photos because I don't know how many are made, but the demand is definitely there. And PSA will slab these. I just found this one. This was a holy grail of mine. I believe this is a Type 1 from 1975. Bob Marley. I'm looking for Bob Marley and Bruce Lee. And then you see like the white borders here. There's always like thick borders a lot of times on Type 1s. And then you see on the back the subject, and it's a 75, Jim Anderson, all rights reserved. Yeah, please leave comments, like this video, please subscribe, do whatever you can, hit that bell button so you get more videos. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to teach y'all some more. I'm even learning. I'm learning every day about all these different classifications of photos. I'm having a fun time doing it. But the thing is, if you want to spend money, make sure it's a Type 1 photo, or maybe that year that it was made. But I really like music photos. And leave comments. Tell me what you want to see more, what you like, what you don't like. If you're a hater about these photos, well, you can be like this one Type photo, a Vince Neil of Motley Crue. This is a Type 1. And if you don't like these photos and you think it's a waste of money, because you understand that cards, like ball cards, basketball cards, football cards, baseball cards, Star Wars cards, anything that's got someone's photo on it came from a Type 1 photo. So Type 1 photos are real, like the Mickey Mantle 52, and those Topps 52 mantles are worth lots of money. But right now, PSA has only authenticated 3, and I think one sold a couple years ago for $2 million. So imagine how much that could bring now. Only 3 existence. That's a lot lower and rarer than the 52 Topps mantle itself, but it came from a photo. Even the Honus Wagner from 1910 or whatever it was has a Type 1 photo. If you don't like people collecting these things, you can do like Vince Neil. Suck it! So that's it. I hope you've learned a lot. I'm at shows all the time, so also make sure to watch The Great Curator and Me every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific on both our channels. It's called Between Two Slabs, where we talk a lot about pop culture and collectibles. We're on there every single week on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, or whatever part of the world you're in. We're always on there talking about pop culture. This is Merlin of Mer World Cards. I hope you learned a lot about photos, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye, everyone.